Fall has now arrived here in Winnipeg, and our real estate market is still heavily favored towards the sellers, with an overwhelming number of buyers coming to the market every single day that are pre-qualified. It is still a great time to sell your property in Winnipeg and also get not only what you're asking, but now is a better time than ever to get more than you were anticipating on getting for your home. Not every home in Winnipeg does go for over asking price. Even though we do have this high demand for houses in Winnipeg, there still is a certain process and procedure and a lot of preparation that goes into actually selling your house for this over asking price, which everybody has their sights and goals set on. My first tip that I have for you today in regards to selling your home is be organized. There's going to be so many questions that potential buyers have about your property. Now, often these questions are focused around costs. So what are some of the costs that are associated with your hydro? Are you on budget? Are you paying monthly? They're going to want to kind of know for their own reference and their own budget on things like that. Also, any insurability. It is the buyer's own due diligence to look into and find out those answers for themselves. But it is good to have some reference points for them to go off of. Also, another great thing to look into is if there's any special levies or any local improvements that are on your property tax bill. If you have any of these that may be coming off of your tax bill or being paid out by the end of this year or next year, it's good to let the buyers know those things. Also, they do want to know if there's any local improvements that are going to be put on to future upcoming tax bills for maybe work that was done in the summer that hasn't been added on to this year's tax bill or next year's tax bill yet. So it's always good to have that kind of information ready. My second tip for you when it comes to selling your home is declutter and repair. So my greatest strategy for this going forward is basically go through your house room by room and take an inventory of any potential things that you may think could be an area of improvement. If you've got some old furniture, crowding up a corner, or if you've got some chips in the paint or any broken baseboards or anything like that, go through and make an inventory list of areas that need to be improved and what the solution or outcome of those areas is going to be. It's always great to hire a local handyman as well. They're fairly cost effective, fairly affordable, and they help the local economy at the end of the day. But have somebody like that comes in and cleans out the eaves troughs, gets your ducts cleaned, or even just fixes chips in the paint or fixes baseboards or anything along those lines. Those are really the key points that kind of bring a listing from being okay to over the top when there's love that's shown for the property. My third tip to selling your home is check in with your mortgage lender, because there may be some associated fees that come along with selling your home before the terms are up of the actual mortgage agreement that you have set out. So just because the fees may be there doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad time to sell your home. We are sitting in a market right now where homes are highly desirable. So with this high demand, it can quite often offset any fees that you may be incurring from getting out of your mortgage earlier. With that being said, the second part of this is make sure you have somewhere to go. It's always important to have a concrete plan on where your next step is going to be. Whether it's going to be purchasing another home, or if it's going to be, renting for a while, or if you're, moving into a retirement home or anything like that, make sure you've got a concrete plan on where to go. There's so many buyers out there that sell their property and then have nowhere to go. They end up in a situation where they're in a desperation buy and they're having to go well over asking price just because they have nowhere to live and don't want to end up in a hotel. So always have a concrete plan moving forward and be open with your mortgage lender and let them know about what your plan is moving forward so you can end up in the best possible financial situation. Feel free to reach out on any questions you may have about the selling process, or if you'd like to download my complete home seller's guide. It's got a lot more tips, a lot more tricks in there, and it's basically geared to getting sellers the top value for their home. If you're looking for something like that, feel free to reach out. My number is in the description below. Thanks. Have a great day.